Manchester City just rejected £38.5 million for the best midfielder on the planet. Barcelona thought that was a reasonable opening offer. City laughed and said the number needs to be above $60 million. But here's what nobody is saying out loud. City are not negotiating a transfer fee. They are negotiating whether they survive the next 2 seasons at all. Because Rodri is not just a player. He is the entire reason Manchester City's system works. And the moment he walks out of that Etihad door, every single problem this club has been hiding for 3 years is going to become very, very visible. Barcelona made their move. Barcelona's first offer was rejected. But the interesting part is not the rejection. It is what happens next. City reportedly want at least £60 million. Barcelona know Rodri has only 1 year left on his contract. And reports say he has already rejected an extension. So both clubs are looking at the same player and seeing 2 completely different prices. Barcelona see a 30-year-old with a contract running down. City see the player they may struggle most to replace. Rodri isn't just a midfielder. Rodri's value has never been about flashy numbers. He gives City control. When everyone moves forward, he protects what they leave behind. When opponents press, he becomes the escape route. When the game gets chaotic, he makes it slower. That is why replacing him is so difficult. You can buy another defensive midfielder. You cannot automatically buy the same system. City themselves recently described Rodri as one of the most important signings in their history. And now Barcelona want to remove him at the worst possible moment. City are already changing. Pep Guardiola is gone. Enzo Maresca is now Manchester City's manager. And City have made it clear that Maresca's job is to evolve the Guardiola era rather than completely destroy it. That makes Rodri even more valuable. Because Maresca is already replacing one enormous piece of City's identity, the manager. Does City really want to remove the midfield anchor at the same time? That is the real risk. It is not just losing Rodri. It is changing too much, too quickly. But City are preparing. They have already signed Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest, a younger midfielder. High energy, strong work rate, good range of passing. And reports suggest City are still looking at more midfield options. So clearly, they are thinking about life after Rodri. But Anderson does not have to become the next Rodri. That may actually be the wrong question. The real question is, can City build a midfield that no longer needs Rodri to do everything he does? Because replacing the player is expensive. Changing the system might be even harder. Barcelona's biggest weapon. And this is where the negotiation turns. Barcelona have something City cannot buy. Time. Rodri's contract expires next summer. Every month City wait, their negotiating position gets weaker. Barcelona can increase the offer. But they do not necessarily have to reach City's dream price. Because eventually City must decide, take serious money now, or keep Rodri for another season and risk losing him for nothing. So what would you do? If Barcelona came back with £50 million, would you sell? Or would one final season of Rodri be worth more than £50 million to Manchester City? That is not an easy decision. And Barcelona know it, why £60 million still makes sense. But City's position is not ridiculous either. Barcelona are not trying to sign Rodri because he is declining. They want him because they believe he can immediately improve their midfield. Reports say Rodri prefers Barcelona, with negotiations expected to continue after the opening bid was rejected. So Barcelona are basically saying, he only has 1 year left, lower the price. City can answer, if you want him this badly, pay for him. And suddenly, £60 million is not only a transfer valuation, it becomes the price of disruption. The next bid changes everything. That is why the first offer was only the beginning. Before Barcelona arrived, Rodri was a contract problem. Now there is a real buyer, a real price, and a deadline. If Barcelona move closer to £60 million, City will have to make a decision. Protect Rodri's transfer value or protect the team for one more season. Barcelona are trying to buy one midfielder. Manchester City may be deciding how the next era of their club begins. and that is why the next offer could be far more dangerous than the first. If you like football stories where the headline is only the beginning, subscribe to Football Rulebook and watch our previous breakdown.